Hi everybody, I'm Hope and I'm 20 years old. I'm making this video about the TEAS test, which you probably saw by the title. But yeah, I am currently applying to nursing programs and recently took the TEAS test. I thought it would be cool to make a little video, give you guys some tips and tricks that I took away from taking it. I took it 2 times. The first time I got a 79.3% and the second time I got a 89.3%. So my score went up by 10%. I was so surprised. I was not expecting that to happen. I was hoping to get an 85 my second time, and when I saw that I got an 89, I was very happy and relieved, and you guys are definitely going to understand that feeling once you take it and get it out of the way and get the score you were hoping for, which you guys all will. Stay positive. So yeah, I just wanted to break down my score for you guys a little bit, tell you what I did, what helped me, give you guys any tips and tricks I can, because I want everyone that takes it to do well and pass. You know, we're all in this together. So yeah, I have some notes written down here just to make sure I cover everything. But the first time I took it, like I said, I got a 79.3, and I only studied for about a week, maybe a week and a half, like really hard studying. So definitely don't recommend doing that. Give yourself some more time to study and make sure you get all the studying tips and tricks and resources you can. After the first time, I then took about a month to just study really hard, get all the information I could into my brain, and then I took it again, and that's when I was able to improve by about 10%. Yeah, so the first time I took it, the main resource that I used was this book. It's called the ATI TEAS Trivium Test Prep. It looks like this. It was definitely a good resource. I think it lays out the information really well. It has a practice test at the end to help you. It gives detailed answers about why the answer is right. It breaks it down by section. It has all the body systems in there. The reading section has practice passages, practice questions throughout the sections. One thing I did was highlight a bunch and take notes on a separate sheet of paper. So yeah, this resource was really good. I would definitely recommend it. For me, I'm just a really visual learner, and I'm someone that needs to really go deep into certain things that I struggle with. I can't really get it after reading it one time. So only studying a week for the first time just wasn't enough for me, which maybe someone can do it, but definitely not for me. So one thing I did the second time that really made the difference was I found some resources online that could help me go deeper into the material. So on YouTube, there's a YouTuber called Science with Susanna, and she really breaks down the body systems. She does diagramming, highlighting notes, writing out everything on paper for you, and you see her doing it. She highlights circles, draws the diagrams, and it's really helpful, especially if you're a visual learner. So I used her, and that was really helpful. Some of the answers and questions on my science section of the TEAS were literally, I remember learning them in her videos. So I would definitely recommend those. Another resource would be Carolyn McAllister. She's also on YouTube, and she does videos based on reading and the English section. So she breaks down what kind of passages are on the TEAS test, what you can look for in each of them, how to distinguish them from each other, the type of questions on those sections, the types of sentences for the English section, the types of parts of sentences, nouns, verbs, adjectives, how to just know the difference. She breaks it down in a way that's really easy to understand, especially for the reading section, like the expository narrative passages. She helps you know, okay, if you see numbers and you see things about history, even the word history in the passage or in the title, you know it's an expository passage. If it's narrative, then there's going to be dialogue and there's going to be some sort of fiction. So yeah, she breaks it down really well. I would definitely recommend her as well, watching her videos. They're pretty short, they're not too long, and she just has really good PowerPoint layouts to help you understand. Another thing I did was I researched free practice tests. So I invested in this book, and then I invested in another online course. It wasn't as helpful, I thought, so I definitely would stick to the YouTube videos that I talked about watching already, Science with Susanna and Carolyn McAllister. the free practice tests, I think taking practice tests are just so helpful because you're able to really get how much time frame you need to have for each section, and like, okay, I'm going too fast, I'm going too slow, and also you can see like the type of questions they're going to ask. A resource that I didn't use, but one that I heard was really good, was the ATI TEAS practice test that you can buy on their website. I think they're around $60 to $80, and they offer those for you to buy. They're set up just like the regular test, same format, same type of questions, not the same exact questions, but the same format. So I think that's really helpful because you're able to get an idea, okay, this is what the test is going to look like before I take it. These are the kind of questions, and they should give you a review with the ones you got wrong and what you need to review. So I haven't personally used that, but it's something I heard was a really good resource for other people. So those. Another resource, another book, study book that I heard about, I didn't use personally, but I've seen a lot of people talking about. It's yellow and black. It's called the Mometrics ATI TEAS Secret Book. Yeah, like tips and tricks and secrets about the test. It's a little thicker than this one that I used. And I think it has 2 to 3 practice tests in it. So if you're looking for a good study book and you like to have something like in your hands, then I've heard that's a good one too. Yeah, so now I thought I would just break down like my score, exactly what I got in each section to get the 89.3. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I improved my score by 10%, and so the second time when I got an 89.3, I got a 91.5 on the reading score. The math score was a 93.8, my science score was an 83%, and my English score was an 87.5%. So 2 of my 3 scores were in the 90s, and my English was a high 80s. So yeah, I was really proud of myself for just increasing my score so much. I think the first time I took it, my science score was down in the high 60s. So such a big improvement, and I'm so glad that I was able to get it up. And I'm still waiting to hear back about the schools I applied to, but if it doesn't work out this semester, you know, just keep applying. But I would definitely recommend the resources that I've said. Definitely when you're taking the test, don't try to rush through it, but also don't try to spend more than about a minute on each question. If you find yourself stuck on one question for like a long period of time, flag it and go back to it. There's an option in the top right corner that lets you flag the question so that you don't finish that section without at least putting an answer down. So if you flag it, when you finish that section, it won't let you continue until you go back, if you still have time. So it'll say, after you finish your last question of the reading section, for example, it'll have a button that says go back to flagged questions. You press that and it'll take you back to the ones you didn't answer yet, so that you can make sure you reread it, give yourself time after you've finished everything else. That way you don't spend so much time on one question that you're not able to get to other questions that you already for sure know the answer to. So yeah, definitely flag it, go back to it. Sometimes if you go back through other questions and go back, it'll spark your memory about the question. You'll be able to answer it correctly that time. Yeah, I would just really encourage you to spend quality time studying. Don't study a day, wait a few weeks, study a day. Really get yourself on a schedule so that you're able to go through some study material and get some practice in. Take some practice exams after you've studied for a few weeks or so, somewhere maybe in the middle of your studying, so you can see, okay, this is where I'm at. This is the score I would get if I took the test now. And okay, I didn't do so good on the science section, specifically in the muscle system. So I'm going to go review that again. Just give yourself some feedback so that you don't take the test and you're not quite sure where you're at. Practice tests are so important. They can really give you guys a gauge of where you're at and how much more you need to study, what certain areas you should study. So those are really helpful. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was my brother in the background playing video games. But yeah, you guys can do it. Don't get discouraged. Try to stay positive, especially before you take the test. You know, a positive mindset is so important when you take these tests. If you get down on yourself, you're already a step behind than if you came in with a positive mindset and just a positive idea for that test. You know, positivity is really important. So you guys can do it. I'm proud of you no matter where you're at, if you're just starting or if you're going to be taking it again. I hope this video was able to give you some tips and tricks that helped me We're all in this together. So I'll link down below all of the different resources I used, like Susanna, Science with Susanna, and Carolyn McAllister, and even the study book too, if you guys want that. So if you guys want more videos like this, nursing videos, or anything else you guys would like to see, let me know. This is my first video, but I thought you might as well start somewhere. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.